Day and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living right here in Menifee, beautiful Menifee Valley. And it is a beautiful day today, and especially beautiful because you are here this morning. And I'm glad you're here. And would you turn to somebody else and just say, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. I gotta tell you, man just yelled out, I'm glad I'm here. She was stuck in traffic. Oh, well, we are glad you're here. And we need to find out what's going on in our community as well as right here in the Center for Spiritual Living. By the way, somebody said that in the program every day there is a list of the announcements or events, right? So take that out, leave the rest of the flyer or the rest of the program here. But right now, we're going to find out what's really going on here. And that comes from our core president, Mr. Dave Minyard.
Good morning, everybody. How are we? Good. Excellent. I'm on a Bill and Ted kick right now. So. Absolutely. Hello, welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living in Menifee Valley. We are a new thought community based on the teachings of Ernest Holmes, which revolve around the basic principles of the law of attraction and the power of positive thinking. No matter where you are in your spiritual path, we are happy you are here. We are glad you are here this morning, and we are happy that you are choosing to be here this morning. So, the January theme is ancestral wisdom and new thought. So this January we are exploring ancestral wisdom and new thought, reflecting on the timeless truths that guide spiritual growth across generations. Rooted in the science of mind, we return to foundational principles that remind us of our oneness with the divine and our creative power to shape our lives through conscious thought. As we step into this new year, may we honor the wisdom that has come before us, both from our ancestors and from our own life experiences. Each lesson carries insight, guidance, and love, helping us to open our minds, hearts, and spirits to what is yet to be revealed. This month, let us listen deeply, reflect consciously, and step into new beginnings with courage, curiosity, and an open heart. Now it's time. So, for those of you who do not know, we have a word that we like to say around here. That word is absolutely. So I'm going to read some statements here, and you are going to affirm with me that that is the case by saying which word? Absolutely. All right. So, do we honor the wisdom of those that came before us? Absolutely. Are we open at the top, ready to release old thinking and receive new insight? Absolutely. Can we carry ancestral wisdom forward with curiosity, courage, and love? Absolutely. As we stand at a new beginning, are we willing to listen deeply and grow consciously? Absolutely. Then let January mark our fresh beginning, grounded in wisdom, open to truth, and guided by spirit, ready to grow into what is revealed. And when we are asked for if we are ready for this new year, then we all say together, loud and proud, absolutely. Thank you. So it is. Okay, on to the announcements. Please silence your cell phones, as you know they are all contagious. If you would look in your pamphlet, you will see that there's a list of community events, like Bill had already said. Feel free to take the insert with you, but please leave the outer bulletin in the basket over there on the front desk. There's not a lot of events going on, so I do want to make a special announcement. So it has been brought to my attention that Murray and Mary have gotten a new dishwasher. So please give them a round of applause.
Talk about your refrigerator.
But I got the refrigerator years ago. They already know all about my refrigerator.
Think about the dishwasher that has 3 racks.
That's what he said, 3 racks. Right? Oh, tell him that was worthy of an announcement. All right, but besides that, this Friday we have our live jam events here at the center. So the fourth Friday of every month, we have an event here that has live music. and this one is no different, except for the fact that the band Looking for Trouble, they played here before. They are like a blues rock kind of band, really, really good. They're going to be performing their entire new album, and opening for them will be acting mayor Bob Harwood. So if you've never heard him perform, he is a treat. He is very fun. Last week I was having a struggle with how to describe him, and the best thing I can say is imagine a guy on a cruise ship who's just real funny with an acoustic guitar and plays really fun songs, and there you have Bob Harwood. So right now he's our acting mayor because our actual mayor is enlisted, and ironically, I just found out that it's the only third time in U.S. history that an acting mayor has been called into active duty. And that's, to me that was like, wow, that's pretty cool. So he is on active duty right now, so Bob Harwood is our acting mayor, and he will be opening for this amazing event. Also on top of that, there's going to be a special signature dish that's going to be created, and I think I talked a lot about it last week, so I'm not going to say too much about it this week other than it's barbecue pulled pork. So if you like barbecue, I heard some gasps, I heard some, so yeah, I'm ready for it. So the event is free to come. If you want the dinner, it is $10. And that's at 6 o'clock on January 23rd.
Yeah.
Yes, I still haven't corrected it on my sheet. 23rd, but at least I know the mistake. I know the error, right? And it's this Friday. We will have a couple tables booked for us. So make sure you come. You don't want to miss it. There's also vendors. There's cookies, coffees. There are art. The whole back room back there, they fill up with different kinds of art that you can purchase. It's a really good time. They have mocktails. Like it's fun. So I expect to see all of you there. I see all your faces now. I'm making a mental log. I'm going to see all of you there. And like I said, it's free to attend, but if you want dinner, it's $10. So stick around after service. I heard that we have some coffee and treats back there for everybody. If you have a prayer request for this week, please place it in the prayer box located underneath the portrait of Ernest Holmes over there in the corner. For more information, you can visit our website at CSLMV.org. Like us on Facebook, Instagram. I've been noticing some people are liking our stuff, and it is already raising the algorithm, and more people are seeing us. So I cannot speak highly enough. If you see our post, just throw a like on it. We love it, and it means a lot to us. Okay, let me get off this stage. So before I intro our practitioner, Eloise, to give you some nice meditation or some chanting, White Feather to do some nice meditation, and Bill to do our reading, please repeat after me. Open minds.
Open minds.
Open hearts.
Open hearts.
Open arms.
Open arms.
Open at the top.
Open at the top.
Thank you all. Have a great week.
My chant this morning is the Gayatri mantra, and as I have explained before, all chants are prayers. Prayers to the God within with gratitude. Om Bhurvubhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om in this sacred sanctuary where each one of us has the God within, because God is all there is. God on the outside and God on the inside. We are all that God. That creative divine spirit is within each one of us. Living our lives, showing us the way, being the way, and letting us be whatever we choose, because we are free to decide where we want to go and who we want to go with. And recognizing all the gods around us, we pick and choose our friends, our jobs, our careers, our living spaces. We are all equal to wherever we want to be. It's what Ernest Holmes calls the mental equivalent. We can do what we choose when we know who we are. And in my gratitude for that awareness, and my gratitude for every single person in this blessed sanctuary, I release my word into the law of mind, knowing this is the truth. This is the truth. This is the truth. And together we say,
And so it is.
this morning, I want to remind everybody about our service, about our opening. What we're doing is setting a tone for this moment. Everything that you hear today, everything you see today, everything that touches you today is what you receive from this program today. So it is with a glad heart that I say to you, open your mind, open your eyes, open your ears, open yourself to the message. Whether you find it in the morning chant and our invocation, or the music presentation of White Feather, or the reading, you will know when it touches you and what it means to you. And so this morning, a reading from the Science of Mind. And Ernest Holmes writes, "We need never beseech the law to operate for us, for if there is but one mind in the universe, our mind is some part of it. And it is its nature to respond to itself. Nothing can hinder that. The divine flows into us, and nothing can stop that except our own free will. The sun may be shining even while we persist in standing in a dark basement. The manna may be falling, but if we refuse to gather it, now we must come out of our basement of despair into the sunshine of truth, into the warmth and color of divine recognition, the instantaneous awareness of the allness of good. God is light, and light gives itself to us. It does not give of itself, it gives all of itself. But the gift without a receiver cannot complete itself in the individual life. Getting out of the way, getting our own bloated self out of the way. This getting out of our own way is what mental treatment does for us, since it declares that there is nothing in us which can keep us from our good. Treatment always declares the presence of good, the operation of the law of love. It is the consciousness, active recognition of spiritual presence, a spiritual force, a spiritual law, a spiritual order within. And so it is.
So it is.
And so it is. Now we've gotten all the preliminaries out of the way. Now it's time for a message. And the message this morning is presented to us by our dear, dear friend, Reverend Ann Woodward, who's also known as Sister Bear. Now, when did that happen? When we were skinny dipping up in the...
Well, let's get set up and I'll tell the story.
Where are you going to be?
I'm gonna be right here. I'm just gonna need a microphone.
Oh, well, then I'll let
White Feather got my
White
music
Feather
set.
put you to
Yeah.
through your paces.
Yeah. Get tilts. There we go.
Stand by.
He's gonna give me the mic too. No, he's leaving. White Feather, bring me the mic. Yeah, one of these days. Thank you. Let's bring it down. I think that's good. Can you hear me on that? Yeah, we're good.
Yes.
We're good. Okay. Well,
Well, I texted John, Linda's husband, last week and said, "Oh, your talk, it was right along with what I had said when I was here in November." So, first of all, to say good morning to everyone. And we talked about Robin Wall Kinner's book, Braiding Sweetgrass. And Robin was on the cover of the Science of Mind for December. Well, little did we know that Science of Mind decided to do a whole month with her teaching in her book. And last week we had Strawberry's story, right? And I hadn't read ahead to the directions that Science of Mind gives us for our talks. So I thought we had just hooked in through the ethers, but actually we were guided there. So anyhow, I did bring the book back just so everybody has an idea of what we're talking about. But since they've decided to spotlight her all month, I would recommend, it's a long read, but I would recommend this book if you're interested in ancient stories that teach lessons about who we are and our connection to the earth. This is not necessarily what I would call spiritual reading, but you will get it when you understand what she's talking about and the connection that we have with our planet, our earth, and all the things in it. So when I'm here, I usually want you to be thinking about your connection and who you are and to remember, because I always feel like when I'm here speaking to the choir, so to speak. But it's always good to remember who we are. So with that, I will share my part, and maybe even a little bit more, because I went off into what we're talking about next week too. I would like, maybe Brian, would you pass this around? We're going to be talking about braiding sweetgrass today, which is the title of the book. So as this comes by, this is sweetgrass, and it's it's been around a while, but if you take a close whiff of it, you'll get the idea of what it is. The Potawatomi people make baskets and jewelry and also burn it. They put it into a braid and burn it like we do here with our sage. The people on the west coast and through some of the Midwest use white sage to burn. But the Potawatomi people, they're the northern part of the country up near Canada, they use that. So, as I've said before, I'm not, here, the story, well, Bill said about the story. The story of Sister Bear is that I had a friend that was very, very much into computers before a lot of us were. And I was terrible, and she'd say, "Sister, you're a bear at the computer." That's how I got my name. It's not Native American. I try not to take other people's cultures and try and make them mine. I want you to know that. So anyhow, please take a look at that. And my title is Chapter 3, ? Because another part of our teaching is that in the first of the year, we go through the first 4 chapters in the Science of Mind text. So this is week 3, so I'm talking about chapter 3. So let's look at how things work. Oh, by the way, the reason I mentioned the computer is I'm not real good with the computer, and I know I see some of our ministers up here with their computers for their notes. So I'm old style. I got these. So with that, let's look at how things work in chapter 3. Now it's the place to start because Ernest Holmes is very clear on our connection and how it works. If we inculcate his explanation of spirit and soul, we can understand what our role is and how the environment is affected through our thinking. We do that. The teaching model for this week is cause and effect and the collective inner. So here's what it means to me. This says that what we create in our life grows exponentially in our life experience. With this in mind, I'll delve into the basics of science of mind because that's what we're being asked to do for this month. Oh, just aside here, thank you. Just aside here, and I know most of the people that have been in Science of Mind a long time know this, but the Science of Mind title was coined by our founder, Ernest Holmes, in this way. He said, in the future, what we are being asked to believe in faith now will be proved by science. What we practice is provable. That's where the science comes in. We are now on the doorstep of this very experience. And it's our spiritual practice. The first 4 chapters in our text are the scaffolding for our teaching philosophy. So if you haven't read those first 4 chapters, this is a good time to do that. As I said earlier, we are pairing our message with the ancient wisdom of the indigenous people of the American continent. The stories that show alignment with spiritual principles. But first, I want to bring us to this point of understanding the oneness, knowing that we live and are surrounded by infinite possibilities. We find in indigenous stories the connections to life through the ancient accounts of how to treat the earth and live in harmony with nature. So, in order to connect these ancient cultures, we look into our connections at the essential essence of our being. We pull out the weeds, the mental weeds in our mind garden, and connect to what we call the one mind. So, what makes us one? Got that? What makes us one? Ernest Holmes says, the nature of being is unity. Within this comes 3 distinct attributes: spirit, soul, and body. That's from chapter 3. Ernest goes on to say, spirit is the active and self-conscious principle, the absolute essence of all that there is, the universal I am. It is will, because it chooses. We're always a choice. It is free spirit, because it knows nothing outside of itself, and therefore nothing different from itself. He is explaining unity, for spirit is all of life. He says the masculine and the feminine principle both come from one. Spirit is all life, not God and something else. Spirit or God is all. He says the center and circumference of everything that exists. It is undivided, complete, and perfect within itself, having no opposites or opposition. And now we are finding scientific proof of this idea, the study of quantum theory. The quantum world is that of a unified system a vibratory field of intelligence, and Holmes calls that one mind. Science is finding this vibratory field responds to our vibrations. What we focus on becomes our experience. And Ernest Holmes always says, God, the divine or the universal life principle, is the origin, the uncreated, changeless being, not a being of parts, but a being of potentiality. This being, with all of its potentialities, is what we call cause and effect. What we put out in our thoughts become manifest. Therefore, creating the effect, we are the cause moving the vibratory field, which is what we call God, or the universal field of intelligence. Ernest Holmes, one mind. So this brings us to unity. The oneness of God and man. One life, of which we are part. One intelligence, which we use. One substance, which is brought into manifold manifestation. One principle, and Jesus taught this. What they may say that they may all be one, even as thou, Father, art in me, and I in thee, and they also in us. Basically, there's no separation. Now, give me a little bit of a liberty here. I'm going to be paraphrasing a story, and it's the story about the sweetgrass. It's the Potawatomi story. The people who live in the northeastern part of the USA, and as our indigenous people here on the west coast burn sage, white sage, and juniper to smudge, the Potawatomi people harvest a long, strong grass to make baskets and to braid and dry and burn in smudging. By tradition, they have been taught by their elders to gather just what they need and to leave something unpicked so that in the future, there will be plenty for others. Now, this story of the ancient Potawatomi teaching is talked about in Robin's book, Great Sweetgrass. Robin is a professor of botany, and as well as the author. She shares this story to emphasize the ancient wisdom of her people. The story goes like this. One of Robin's students was studying the ancient harvesting of the sweetgrass and was questioning why it was disappearing in some areas. Her theory was that it must be picked in just one proper way. And the statement was, if we use a plant respectfully, it will flourish. If we ignore it, it will go away. But it must be cared for in just one way. Her results were not exactly what she suspected. She carefully checked each harvest spot, and the spots she inspected, where they were tended, no matter what the ancient method was, were flourishing. Only the untended plots that were left alone and set aside as natural were in decline. So, in conclusion, in the correlation, in fact, when we honor the place of our intentions, and with the correct environment, we enhance and benefit all that surrounds us. Just as we place seeds in the soil, our thoughts are planted in the subjective or subconscious mind and tended to regularly flourish. What we entertain in our thoughts and actions become what our life becomes. Holmes said this: there is one mind in which we all live, move, and have our being. Things are ideas in form. What else could they be? There is nothing from which to make things except ideas. So, from this point, our thought rests in the subjective mind until spirit gives it energy and it manifests. So whatever you're putting in, eventually is going to come out. So we're going to be pulling out all the things that do not serve us well in these coming months, right? Our subjective or subconscious mind is our connection to the infinite universal mind. It's our mental attitude. So, as this year progresses, let's remember to greet our days with well-tended gardens. Hold all in high regard our earth with its plants, animals, air, and water. And let's remember that all of mankind are our brothers and sisters. Everything is part of what we are. We have a beautiful planet which continues to give us abundantly. There is a spiritual law called the law of reciprocity. And what we give out returns to us as we give. Let us give in love, peace, joy, and harmony for all life. And I want to say, and so it is, but I want to share our prayer, our closing prayer this morning with the Potawatomi. So, it's a prayer of, it's the Rising Sun prayer, but it's of gratitude. And it's long. So what I did is I took it and I paraphrased it. But I would like to close that part of my talk and go into the prayer with you in a little meditative state. Because this is a beautiful prayer. And in her book, she says that they were the children at the school where all her children were attending was saying flag salute. And they all did that. That was fine. They're part of our culture as well. But all the children said to the teachers, what about us? What do we do? We do something different. We don't salute the flag. What do we do? So one of the teachers brought in the prayer that was a prayer that had been passed down for generations. And so that's what this is. And like I say, I paraphrase it because it's about a 25-minute ceremony. We won't do it for that long. So just center in with me, and we'll use this as our closing prayer, and you'll see why. Today, we are gathered when we look upon the faces around us, we see the circle of life continues. We have been given the duty to live in balance and harmony with each other and all living things. Now, let us bring our minds together as one, as we give greetings and thanks to each other as people. Now, our minds are one. We are thankful for our Mother Earth, for she gives us everything that we need for life. She supports our feet as we walk along upon her. It gives us joy that she still continues to care for us as she has from the beginning of time. To our mother, we send thanksgiving, love, and respect. Now our minds are one. We give thanks to all the waters of the world, for it quenches our thirst, providing strength and nourishing life for all beings. We know it has power in many forms. Waterfalls and rain, mist and streams, rivers and oceans, snow and ice. We are grateful that the waters are still here and meeting their responsibility to the rest of creation. Can we agree that water is important to our lives and bring our minds together as one to send thanks to our water? Now our minds are one. Return our thoughts to the fish life in the water. They are instructed to cleanse and purify the water. They also give themselves to us as food. We are grateful that they continue to do their duties, and we send to the fish our greetings and our thanks. Now our minds are one. Now we turn towards the vast fields of plant life and berries with one mind. We honor and thank all the food plants we harvest from the garden, especially the three sisters who feed the people with such abundance since the beginning of time. The grains, the vegetables, the beans, the fruit have helped the people survive. Many other living things draw strength from them as well. We gather together in our minds all the plant foods and send them a greeting of thanks. Now our minds are one. And this goes on. The herbs of the world, the plants for healing, the trees, the beautiful animal life who walk among us, the birds from the smallest to the largest, the winds for the four directions they come to purify the air and we breathe, the thunder that brings the water and renews life, the moon, the stars, the sun to bring the light of a new day, the source of all the fires of life, the teachers who have come to help throughout the ages. We now turn our thoughts to the Creator, a Great Spirit, and send greetings and thanks for all the gifts of creation. Everything we need to live is good in life, and it is here on Mother Earth for all of us to love. That is all that is still around as we gather our minds together as one and send our choicest words of greeting and thanks to our Creator. And now our minds are one. We have now arrived at the place where we and our words of all the things that we have named, it is not our intention to leave anything out. If something was forgotten, we leave it to each individual to send such greetings and thanks in their own way. And now our minds are one. And so it is. So it is. Thank you.
And I thought you were going to talk about something else this morning. Open my mind that I may see fullness of truth thou hast for me. Thank you. All right, now it's time for our lunch. No, we have a chance to share in the beauty of this moment this morning, and we'll do our offertory now, and I'm sure Eloise, you'll have something to tell.
It's fine, I got
There you go.
it. Let's all repeat the abundance affirmation. It's all up there, so we can all say it together. With open hearts and open minds, I give cheerfully, knowing the love and abundance I share returns to me in joyful ways. So we have our usher, Gail, who will be coming around to accept your tithes, your donations, your gift to this center. And electronic donations can be made at Dave's special place back there. We call it the sound booth. And he can take your cards, your debit cards, your credit cards, and also through Zelle. Isn't that interesting? Through Zelle, Z-E-L-L-E, that's your bank. And that, you can do that through CSLMV@gmail.com. So that's another interesting way to give to this center, and we greatly appreciate it. And now we're going to be singing.
I am so blessed.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to come up.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, that's right. And Brian is going to sing it with us.
I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed.
Thank you, Brian. We are so blessed. We are so blessed, and we bless this offering to the works of this service and this church. And so it is.
So it is.
And now it's time for us to join hands if you like. You don't have to circle up with us, but we circle up and we sing our peace song. And you know, I think there's a misconception about the peace song. I think we all believe that it is looking for peace on earth. Well, it is looking for peace in earth, right inside of us. That's the one thing we've all shared, peace within. And it goes something like this.
With God.
I love their name.
Thank you.
The first time I saw them, I walked right up there and I said, hey, which one of you is Betsy? You know,
Yeah.
a joke. And she said, oh, neither one of us. It was named after our aunt who passed away now. And I'm not quite sure, I didn't get the whole story, but I saw them
believe so.
again recently. Oh, they gave me a t-shirt. So now I see it, I wear it every time I see them.
Oh.
And they're great. They're great if you can.
I will, I'll pass
See
it
if we
along.
can get them at the live jam. I
yeah,
said
I'll
that
pass it
right.
along.
Oh, awesome. Thank you very much, Dave. Okay.
It's your turn.
All right, it's my turn.
All right, stop. There we go. All right. What do we got going on, Linda?
I'm giving you money.
You can't go back now. I just wrote your name down. How much?
35.
35. Got it. All right, my dear, you are all set.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Brian. Brian's right behind you.
Okay.
I'm sorry?
She's ready.
Okay. And Eloise is getting your coffee.
Step that in somewhere. Okay.
Here, here.
Bye. I put our plates by the microwave.
Okay.
Oh, I got a plate already, trust me. My brownie riddle isn't really brownie riddle, they just overbaked brownies. Hey, I love that
Don't eat them.